Hello, Huntsville. I'm Cynthia Joyner with the Cynthia Joyner Real Estate Group, and today we're shaking things up with a unique twist on fitness. Join us as we explore untraditional gyms and discover innovative ways to stay active and healthy in Huntsville. It's time to redefine your fitness routine.
Hello Huntsville, we're back for another episode, and today we're at Claymore Fighting and Fitness. I'm gonna go change. I'm really excited to learn. Let's go check it out. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us today. We're so happy to have you on this episode.
It's great to have you here.
Now, to get us started, just tell me a little bit about what Claymore Fighting and Fitness is.
Wow, it's been many years in the making. Let's see, I guess back in the early 2000s, 2003, 2004, I had done some military service and wanted to continue hand-to-hand training and started teaching people kind of on a small, by request basis, just kind of one-on-one and small group. And then I started training at a local facility here, another small business, Maverick Training Center, way back. I don't know, this was probably around 2008. And the owner there said, hey, we want you to bring your training to our place. And so that's why I really started doing it on a regular basis to the public. After a while, Maverick Training Center continued growing. We continued growing, and there wasn't room enough in one facility for both of us, so we actually moved over to what now is, well, it's Rosie Shopping Center, and we were there for 10 years. And about a year ago, we bought this building here and are in the middle of probably about a 4-year renovation to get this building up to where we want it to be eventually. And it's just been kind of a whirlwind over the past several years.
So today we have Sheryl Payne with us, and Sheryl owns the Jade Vine. Sheryl, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode.
Thank you for having me on the episode.
To get us started, how we like to start every episode, just kind of tell us what the Jade Vine is.
So the Jade Vine is starting out as a pole fitness studio. I do hope to maybe bring in other types of dance here, possibly a heels class, maybe belly dance, but for now we're starting out strong with pole fitness.
So just kind of give us a background of how the Jade Vine got started, how long you guys have been in business.
Sure. So I started back in 2012 off of a living social deal, and the owner, she closed her studio, and I have a tribe of very strong women, and they have been in my ear for years. Do it, Sheryl, open a studio, we need this, we need this. So November of 2021, I opened, and I grew out of a Polynesian dance studio. She allowed me to start. And here I am 2 years later opening my own little sandbox.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
know we were talking earlier about the new space that you guys have, so congrats again on that. Kind of tell me, for someone that would be a beginner, how to get started if I just walk through your door and have never done this before.
Sure, well, and it all depends on really what you want to train for. So here at Claymore, we offer Krav Maga, which is an Israeli military-based self-defense system, and that's where I got started in the military. And that is for kind of a no rules, no holds barred fight. For example, if somebody comes up to you with a knife or a gun, or multiple attackers may approach you and your family out in the street, that's a much different scenario than it might be when you're putting on the gloves and going in for competition, whether it's kickboxing or MMA or grappling, something like that. And we offer all those disciplines here. So in addition to self-defense, we have what's called Bang Muay Thai, which is a kickboxing system that was developed by Bas Rutten, who's a UFC Hall of Famer, as well as Dwayne Ludwig, who is a UFC legend, has the fastest punch knockout in the UFC. And that's their system that we have affiliated with. And so we offer that. That's more of a competition sport-based discipline. And we also offer something called combat submission wrestling, which was founded by a gentleman who's also a martial arts legend, Eric Paulson. And it's a wrestling jiu-jitsu based grappling program more for MMA and competition. So whether you just want to get in shape and compete in the ring or the cage, or you just want to learn how to defend yourself and your family, we can kind of cover you in all those areas.
Kind of tell those who've never done it before, what kind of classes you guys offer, how long they are? Is there different levels? Even, is there an age range? So just kind of share that with us.
So to start, I specialize in first-time beginners. I really want to make these ladies feel comfortable and welcome and empowered to do something that they really don't normally do. I have set my minimum age range to 18 because I want my ladies to understand what it is they are getting into, you know, for themselves. My classes go for 1 hour, and I really try to juice as much as I can out of it, with giving the girls a lot of technique and something that they can really chew on and grow on. If they wanted to up their level, they are welcome to do it. If they wanted to go beyond my skills, I'm not a gatekeeper.
Right.
Honey, let's do it.
Tell me what the age range is for how young do people usually start, or how old does it go to, or is there, you can just be any age?
Sure. So we start off at 5 years old. We have a youth program. Our Little Warriors program is ages 5 to 9. Once they hit 10 years old, they go into our Young Warriors program, and that's ages 10 through 14. And they're going to learn a mix of self-defense. They're going to learn a mix of boxing, kickboxing, and wrestling, so they get sort of the competition and the self-defense side, as well as we do a lot of character building, self-discipline and respect and integrity. And we're teaching the young ones discipline along with the fighting skills that we offer, because we kind of feel like if we're teaching young kids how to fight without accompanying with discipline, then we're probably training bullies. So we want to make sure that they understand the proper use of it, and also how to deal with bullies at school, which is certainly different from what we teach in our adult program. But we've got over 70 kids in our program, and it's exciting. I tell you, for a lot of years, people approached me and said, Ryan, we want to put our kids in your program. But I didn't have a kids program. And I started off just teaching military and law enforcement. And the way that you talk to and treat military and law enforcement is a little bit different from what you teach, how I would teach a civilian class, an adult civilian class, much less kids. I didn't really feel like I was quite qualified to do that. Actually went through a certification process to teach kids, and I tell you, it is by far my favorite class to teach.
Kind of touching back on it, so you guys train, but do you have like competition teams that you take that compete, or are you just strictly training?
So we have actually both pro and amateur fighters that train with us. We have a fight team here, and we fight anywhere from, we've had our fighters fight in Atlanta, had them fight in Tennessee and Mississippi, so all throughout the southeastern region, both pro and amateur. So if somebody wants to get to that level, they can come and see us, and we can get them there. In fact, we have a lot of fighters that come from other gyms just to get a little bit different look in their training, and to maybe pick up something from what we offer that maybe they're not getting at their home gym.
Let's kind of talk about Huntsville. So obviously Huntsville is a very booming city. It's growing. People are moving here every single day. You're in a pretty central location for both Huntsville and Madison. Kind of share how Huntsville's growth has impacted your business.
I am seeing ladies move here from Mexico, originally from Venezuela. I have a young lady, she is Rushton, moved to Huntsville by way of Miami. Oh wow. So I'm not at a loss of meeting a lot of new ladies. Plus even the old Huntsville ladies, the ones who have been here 20 plus years, coming into this studio. Thought that there was something like this in town. Come on, girl. Come on.
Doors are open. Kind of share just what life has been like for you outside of this in Huntsville.
Sure. So my dad was former military, and they decided that Huntsville was where we want to retire. So I was in 6th grade back when West Lawn was a middle school, and ended up graduating out of Sparkman. And so just kind of stayed here in Huntsville since, and growing up with the city back when it was Rideout Road, now called Research. None of all of these apartment complex here were here. There were a lot of cotton fields.
Yes.
So watching everything grow up, growing up with the city, there's something to be said about it. So I'm very proud of Huntsville, and it's just a beautiful gem.
I love that. I love to hear that. You are not from Huntsville. Tell us kind of your story, where you came from and how you got to Huntsville.
Okay, wow, I've been here quite a while. Grew up in East Texas, went to college there, then took off and did my military service. Spent most of my time in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And when that was done, I came here for employment, ended up working eventually at Redstone Arsenal, like so many people do, coming out of the military. And gosh, I got here in Huntsville somewhere around 2004, 2005, and been here ever since. I recently left my job, just quit my job at the Arsenal to train full-time. And so this is my full-time job, and I feel very, very fortunate to be able to do my passion and to train in that and basically be able to make a living doing that.
How has the growth of Huntsville helped your business?
Wow, I mean, I guess I really have to say that the growth of Huntsville has really helped us, and we've grown along with it. Especially being where we're at here on South Parkway, it was really about time for this part of town to get revitalized.
Right.
Was fortunate enough to be able to purchase this building at the time that I did, because everything is skyrocketed now with all of the infrastructure coming into South Huntsville.
Right.
So it's just been great timing, and as Huntsville's grown, so have we.
So tell me what the name, the Jade Vine, means.
Sure. It is a bit of a personal reference to my heritage. My dad is from Arkansas, my mom is from Philippines, and I wanted something to just, harken back to Philippines. So the Jade Vine is an exotic vining plant in the Philippines, and when you look it up, it's a beautiful color.
Oh, that's so cool.
Thank you.
That's so cool.
By day, I am a working professional. My two ladies that support me, I've got Miss Holly and Miss Skylar. They are also working professionals, and they started out coming to me as students. And they just showed the kind of initiative that I want my studio to, represent, that nurturing kind of, spirit. Like every lady that comes in here, she will be nurtured, in ways that matter, so that she can go back out there into the world just a little bit better. I realize it sounds a little cliche, but it's honestly what I want.
Tell us how the name Claymore came about, because I was very wrong in what it was.
Okay, so great question. So having come out of the military, I was essentially just training military and law enforcement. So I figured that I wanted something that reflected my military background, and the traditional military crest is a sword and wings, and that's kind of where I came from. I thought, well, I'm going to stick with that theme. But I wanted something a little bit different. I actually come from a little bit of Scottish heritage. I have McNeil's in my background. And so the classic Scottish sword, like on Braveheart, is the Claymore sword. And so that's how you get the logo that you see here with the sword and wings. Those wings are a stylized version of airborne jump wings, which is where I came from, the 82nd Airborne in Fort Bragg. So a little bit autobiographical, I guess you could say. And I thought also that, the Claymore mine, that's explosive, that's kind of a military thing. And so that's how I came up with the name Claymore.
So can you share with us, is there any up and coming fighters that train here that you could share with us?
Oh, absolutely. So first off, one of our pros, Tyler Langford, local fighter that everybody knows about. Tyler. He is somebody that he's amazing to watch training in the gym. We are looking for an opponent right now for him. He's had a couple that have volunteered and have dropped out at the last minute. It's tough to get him matched up with people because he's such a threat. We also have Justin Jamar, who is set to make his pro debut. He is ranked, I think #1 featherweight in the Southeast.
Oh, wow.
Definitely in Alabama right now. So he's a hot prospect to look for, and super exciting when he fights. He's so quick, his timing is so good. And we have really upped his game as well, and I can't wait to see what he does inside that cage.
Awesome, that's so cool. Now, I think you're about to teach me a few things, so this is about to be interesting, but let's get into it.
So we want to be in kind of an athletic stance where you sort of have like springy knees, like you don't want to lock, there we go. Good athletic stance, good, good. And you're going to bring your hands, you're going to keep your hands close to your chin right there. Yep, elbows are in, that's very good. So from this stance, all I want you to do with that left hand, I just want you to extend out and just hit this mid, okay? Go.
Okay.
Good, and again. And one more. Good. Now what you're naturally doing is you're rotating your hips a little bit, so I want you to do that even more.
Okay.
And so when you punch, I want you to come from your chin, come right back to your chin.
Okay.
All right, you're just gonna pop. So this is your jab. Ready?
Okay.
Go. Good. Go.
Oh.
Go. Go. Good. Now we're gonna do the same exact thing. This is called your cross, your power side.
Okay.
So it's gonna come from your jaw, come straight out and come back. And if you notice, my hips are rotating as I'm throwing that punch. Put some power in that punch.
Okay.
Here we go. Cross. Yep, good. Cross. And one more. Good. So now we're gonna move around a little bit. I'm just gonna call jab and cross.
Okay.
And let's do that for now. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
And you're gonna kind of
Jab,
follow me around
cross.
a little bit. Yep. And
Okay.
then I will tell you, I'm gonna show it to you. Jab and cross. And you're gonna know which one. Very good.
Okay.
Here we go. Ready? Jab. Jab. Cross. Good. Cross. Cross. Jab. Jab. Cross. All right, very good. Now I'm going to call jab cross. That's going to be both. So you're going to go jab cross. Yes, very good.
Okay.
Ready? Jab cross. Cross. Jab cross. One more. Jab cross. Very good.
Looking into the next 5 to 10 years, what are your goals for your business?
I want to run the empire, if I may say so. There is such a thing called pole convention, and with the cities like Atlanta, Nashville, Memphis, or Birmingham, even Huntsville is so centrally located. Why not have pole convention here in Huntsville? That's a good time.
I know for me, so like I've been a dancer, I've trained in dance my entire life, but it takes a different kind of strength to do something like this. So kind of just share, in those 1-hour classes, just share with us what that's like.
Sure. So my beginners, my first timers, when they come in, we just scoot them on through all the way through the studio and do the formalities, if you will. I will talk the girls through a warm-up, and I just let them know that their responsibilities, of coming to class and knowing thy body. And then I bring them over to the pole, and I literally start my girls from walking. So at least we have a base. We can set the tone with that. And then I show them 2 different ways to wipe the pole. And it's when they finally get to touch the pole, that moment when they're actually doing something, watching them experience that rush of something that they only see on TV or movies, kind of the payoff.
Right.
I appreciate those moments.
So what are the benefits of this type of fitness compared to other types of fitness classes?
Benefits of pole is almost infinite, I would say. You've got, the act of dancing and the act of listening to the music. So you've got a lot of mental, stimulation going on there. Of course, the physical, you're pulling up and reaching, and I much prefer to move my girls slower, so that I'm reaching for those smaller muscle fibers. And if they're sore the next day, I'm both sorry and you're welcome. But the pole, it can be gentle on your limbs. I've had my oldest student has been 72, and she is threatening to come back. I said, come on, you know where a good time is. But what she really enjoyed was that her hands, her elbow, her ligaments, all her joints were just stretched, because I was encouraging her to lift and pull and push, doing something that, it's better than, sitting in the car and driving around. Come to pole class, bring your mom, bring your grandma.
Right. And
they're gonna enjoy themselves. All kinds of ladies, they just love what pole does for them. I was a former band girl in high school, so I played flute and I was up there properly, just directing my band. But even still, when the girls come in here, they do wonder, is pole for me? Girl, you're here. You're already here. Yes, it's for you. And so as much as they want to progress and move forward, like I said before, I'm not going to stop them. I'm going to help lift her up, and she's going to get so strong.
Kind of gives a little walkthrough about what we're going to see, experience today.
Sure. So how I work is that I will give you a couple of building blocks. How you build your house is up to you.
Okay.
There's no really wrong way to do it. but I will help you, if you're just completely out of the lane. So like I said before, I literally take ladies from walking because we want to set the tone. And then just depending on how ambitious you let me be with you, we'll see what happens. We'll see if we'll get both feet off the floor.
I learned a lot. I'm also excited to see and kind of learn, so this is going to be exciting.
For sure. And step. And step. Ooh, she's a pole dancer. Look at her. She's a pole dancer. Wide base. Here we go. Just figure eight. Figure eight. So right hip presses out. Bring it in. Left hip. Hi, boss. All right, okay. So if you want to, we're all grown-ups here. We know what we're doing. Push down to your ankle. Heels. One hand, one hand, one hand, one hand. Open your knees. There she is. There she is. That's it, girl. That is it. There you go. You look beautiful.
Sheryl, thank you so much for having us today. Thank you for being on this episode. We're very excited, and thank you for sharing your story.
For sure. Thank you.
Like and subscribe to Hello Huntsville today on all your favorite podcast platforms. Sponsored by the Cynthia Joyner Real Estate Group, Jeff the Mortgage Guy, and Tony with T-Mail in the Morning Show.